Okay, so this is our annual reorg for the Village of Millbrook Board of Trustees. And before I actually call the meeting to order, I wanted to get the new trustees sworn in. So, what do you do, one at a time?
Yes.
Okay, so, Peter, want to go up to confront Sarah there?
Sorry. Alrighty.
Stay here.
Yes. Alright. Raise your hand. I then state your name.
I, Peter Doro,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will
the
support
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Village Board of Trustee
the duties of Village Board of Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Alright.
All right.
Alright.
Peter, congratulations.
Thanks, Mayor.
All right.
Thank you.
Alright, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I then state your name.
I, Patrick Murphy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the State of New York
the Constitution of the State of New York
and the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the United States,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
Village Board of Trustee
Village Board of Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Alright.
All right. Congratulations, Pat.
Thanks. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome, good luck.
All right. All right, so we'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, please be seated. Okay, so let's do the roll call.
Mayor Cowley,
Here.
Trustee Contino. Here. Trustee Herzog.
Here.
Trustee Doro.
Here.
And for the first time, Trustee Murphy.
Here.
All right. Now, the agenda I sent out earlier, and we did add one item at the last second at the bottom. You see item M, the resolution for the dissolution of petty cash. We'll go through a resolution at the end to take care of that. For those of you at home who want to follow along with the script, just go to the village website and the home of the village website and click on the icon Agenda and Minutes, and then click on the icon Meeting Docs. And there you'll see the script that we're going to go through. Now, we didn't get anything to project on the screen, so you all can bear with us as we go through this. The reason why we didn't script because it was so small, we projected, you still couldn't see it. So,
There's a couple on the side there.
oh, okay, good. Okay, first is the list of appointments for the deputy mayor. Vic Contino's agreed to do another year for us. For the planning board and ZBA secretary, we have a meeting on Monday, hopefully to find someone to take over Regina Crawford's job since she resigned. All right, so we hope to have that to bring to the board meeting next Wednesday for the board's review and approval. And we have a planning board member that has to re-up, that's Genevieve Glasson, and a zoning board of appeals member that has to re-up, and that's Earl Myers. Earl has already come in and taken the oath to be sworn in for another 4 years, so that's all set. And we'll get that to Genevieve. And the other positions are just a continuation of who's in place today. The clerk treasurer, the deputy clerk, the senior account clerk, the ZBA, the CEO for the buildings and codes, highway department, police, consulting engineer, it will be Delaware Engineering, and the attorney will be from Mackey, Butts, and Whalen. I'll make a motion that we accept these appointments. Can I get a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, thank you. Town of Washington will be used for additional snow removal and highway support and animal control as needed. The official newspaper, we have 2 of them. We'll use the Poughkeepsie Journal for any daily notices and the Millerton News for any weekly notices. And the official depository will be the Bank of Millbrook with the following resolution. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined that the village law 4-41232 requires the designation of banks or trust companies for the deposit of village monies, that the Board of Trustees designates the Bank of Millbrook as the depository of all monies received by the village treasurer, clerk, receiver of taxes, and water and sewer bill managers. This resolution is effective immediately. No vote required for that?
Well, we were gonna do them all.
So we're going to go through all these and then just accept them at the end?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Then please stop me as we go through this if there's questions or comments, all right?
Is the ZBA and the planning board, are there any open spots on either of those or no?
Not right now that I'm aware of, no. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Other than the secretary,
Yeah.
all right? Okay, meetings. So we have one meeting a month, the second Wednesday, 6 p.m. here. We also can have meetings at the Village Hall or do Zoom virtual meetings if required or whatever. We have the opportunity to schedule a second meeting on the fourth Wednesday of the month. That's optional based on the schedule as such. And we can call special meetings as required by either myself or two trustees acting together. All right? And then here's the criteria as far as meetings on short notice. There's a process the clerk has to go through. And we can cancel meetings following the same process. All right? Rules of procedure for the meetings. The mayor presides at all board of trustee meetings. If I'm out, then the deputy mayor presides. And if she's out, then the trustee with the most years of service will preside. The first meeting of the month is a business meeting. Usually the second meeting of the month, if we have it, is for special purposes, special needs, whatever. All right. The clerk takes care of recording the appropriate information. The mayor may vote on any item, but must vote in case of a tie by a, yay, or nay. I prepare the agenda the week before and send it out, post it to the trustees for them to make a opportunity to make additions or subtractions to the agenda. I then have it posted on the website by Monday for the general public to see. If a member wants to make an addition to the agenda prior to the meeting, it simply requires them to make a request to me, and if I accept it, it goes in. If I reject it, they can go to another trustee and get two trustees to say they want it on it, and then it goes, despite my feelings. Additions to the agenda during the village meeting, during the actual meeting, requires a motion by a trustee and a second. All right? Hear how it works? All right. And we encourage public participation throughout the meeting. We always have public participation on the meeting agenda, but then through the agenda, we actually ask for participation. If there's any relevant for people to bring up. Okay? Advance notice of claims. We have, especially with some of the utility bills, a need for the clerk to pay them before we have a chance to review them. So this is this resolution that follows. Whereas the Board of Trustees is determined to authorize payment in advance of audit claims for the following: public utilities, cable, internet, garbage, standard things like that that are part of the budget. Whereas such claims should be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, the claimant and the officer incurring or approving the same shall be jointly and severally liable for any amount the Board of Trustees disallow. So therefore, the clerk and deputy clerk can pay these bills before we actually okay them during the meeting at their risk. And basically what they do is they pay bills that are part of the budget, standard things. Right? If it's something that's unique, they're not going to go pay it before we actually approve it. All right? Okay, so therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Trustees authorize the payment in advance of audit claims for the following categories, and they will be presented at the next regular meeting for audit and claim. And if someone approves it, we determine that it's not appropriate, they can be liable for making an approval. Okay? Everybody okay with that? That's the same as we've been doing all along, so no changes there. Okay. Mileage allowance, we use the IRS standard rate for mileage reimbursement. So if you use your private vehicle for travel wherever, you can submit a request for a reimbursement for the mileage. This is like 55 cents a gallon, something like that.
Hold on to that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But whatever it is, they update it every year. and that's what we'll pay. Attendance at school and conferences, we encourage trustees as well as employees to take advantage of the opportunities provided through NICOM and through other agencies under Dutchess County. You can take these courses in person or online. And I only ask that you request approval beforehand. All right? And what I'd like to do is have those requests brought to the board for the board to approve.
If it requires like money.
If it requires money, good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these courses are free, you can do it anytime.
Right.
Okay. All right, policies. There's a list of about a dozen policies here. They're all on the website. I'd ask you guys to look through them to see if there's anything that needs to be updated. Any ideas here? Any things you found that were out of date or whatever? We pretty much went through all these since we've been in the office here the last 2 years. So I don't see that anything needs to be done other than Sarah did note that the employee handbook did not have the non-smoking resolution included, so she updated that. So that is the one change we'd like to make to the employee handbook. All right. We passed a resolution last year to designate all property owned by the village to be non-smoking, and we just included it in the employee handbook. All right. There is a requirement for annual review of violence in the workplace policy and sexual harassment training. And there's often courses offered through NICOM. You'll get emails that say, hey, we're offering a class on those two things. And I ask all of you to, on an annual basis, take the class, fill out the form and submit it to Sarah so she can get it for her records. All right. There's also a conflict of interest form that needs to be filled out. It's, where's that? Is that the employee handbook, right?
Yeah, I think we have some online too.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So if you look at the employee handbook at the back, there is a conflict of interest form that you need to fill out.
I can bring some to the next meeting.
Oh,
You
good.
guys
All
wanna
right,
decide
fine.
on
But we need to have those kept by the clerk, a record of those annual statements of conflict of interest or not. Any changes that you've identified that should be made to the policies we have online other than the addition of the non-smoking resolution to the employee handbook? Okay, then I'll make a motion that we accept the above mentioned policies. Can we get a second?
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? All right, thank you. Okay, next is a list of committees that we have. For the Code of Ethics, if you look on our ethics code in the local law, you'll see that there is a committee identified. The members are Mike Herzog, Board of Trustees, Reverend Matt Hawkins, and John Dukes, who's a resident in the village. And those are the people who will be the recipients of any complaints or ethics issues that are being brought forward to the board and to myself. Okay? There's a community review board. This is for complaints regarding the police. We put in place a police complaint form last year, all right? And this is the community review board. It's comprised of officer in charge Witt, board trustee Herzog, and resident Mike Murphy. And of course, if the complaint is against Officer Witt, then the senior officer would take his place. That's how that works. The complaint form is online, and we've not received any complaints yet for that form. We did put it in place last year, so that's good to go.
Who is our senior officer right now? Is it Belusi?
It's either Palooza or Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see her here.
I think it's Rich.
It might be Bill.
98. Yep. Rich was hired in 98,
When was Bill hired?
2000.
Really? Okay, fine. It is Rich. He was hired in 98 after 20 years in the Poughkeepsie Police Department.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so that's that. Next is the Shade Tree Commission. To provide advisory capacity to the village board. Basically, they come to us and make recommendations of where we need to replace trees. Right? And that board consists of Mike Herzog as the chair, Kevin McGreen is the vice chair, and Eldar Shumanov is the secretary. All right. Now, to my knowledge, all those committees are still in place. Anybody have any news to the contrary? Mike, your name's the deal. All right, so motion made by myself to acknowledge the above mentioned committees, seconded by
A second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? All right, thank you. Next are the fees. So the building department fees are attached? Yes.
Yes.
Go back to like page 7. So this is a list of fees that we have that are used by the chief enforcement officer and clerk Sarah when people come forward to request changes to their properties. All right. Now, as we were just discussing for the meeting, these fees were last updated in 2020. We simply brought forward the fees from last year. But I will see Ken on Monday and ask him if there's a need for us to be updating these fees. And specifically what happened was 2 years ago, we did update the fees based on his knowledge and experience with his other municipalities. We basically brought forward what they were doing elsewhere and brought them into the village. Okay, so I'll ask him to do an update for us and we can review that at a later time. All right. But for now,
Nothing's changed.
nothing's changed. These are fees that were in place last year.
No,
But I do want to see
these
what we
are, there is, just like a minor change on the, right under where it says permit renewal. And it was, there was an update of if a permit expired and work completed within 3 months of expiration, $50 C of O or CFC will be added on. And then if work is done without applying for a building permit, the original fee is doubled.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's really, all the other fees are pretty much all the same. Like,
All right, so tell me the first one. Where's this at?
right under where it says permit renewal, at the very top of the first page, under admin fees.
Admin fees,
Yeah.
permit renewal. Okay.
So the second bullet point,
Yeah.
was added, and then the last one was added,
Oh, okay, fine.
and then pretty much all the other fees are, I think, let's see. Yeah, all the other fees are the same. I think he added solar panels, ground mount needed ZBA approval. That's on the second page.
So I'll retract my statement that everything stayed the same.
But I believe those were the only. I just did them today, so I think those are the only 2 changes, and all the other fees.
How did we do those changes? Don't they have to be done on local law or?
I just changed the sheet, but you guys just accept the fees if you guys are okay with the fees. So basically, in this meeting, you'll approve them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
All right, so I'm still not clear which
that
fees are changing.
Yeah,
So-
because if they're not in the code.
right. Yeah, the code actually refers to something, the fee schedule as a separate document.
Right.
So again, show me which are the changes again. Permit renewal, new single family 6-month extension.
Yeah, if a permit expired and work is completed within 3 months.
Oh, those
of
the words
expiration.
down there. I see.
Yep. And then the last bullet point, if work is done without applying for a building
Okay, so you
permit.
added those 2 bullets.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. Any objection to that? Sounds like it's a smart thing to do. And what were the other changes? You said elsewhere there was some other change?
There was an addition of, on the second page where it says solar panels, roof mount, he added solar panels, ground mount, but needs ZBA approval.
Oh,
So they have to go through ZBA.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
And everything else is the same.
Okay, and I'll assume these are things that he's brought from another municipality
Mm-hmm.
and just poured it over to us. All right.
Correct.
All right, so again, I think we should accept the fees as stated, but I do want to follow up with Ken to make sure that we've got the latest version for all the others. Any questions or comments about that, the fee schedule? No? Okay. All right, let's go back to page 4. The Village of Millbrook water and sewer rates. We use VRI to both manage the operations as well as the administration of both the water and sewer. The rate currently is $6.75 per 1,000 gallons for water and $9 per 1,000 gallons for sewer. For village residents and for town residents, it's $10 for water and $9 for sewer. All right. And for customers who only have sewer, we estimate 6,300 gallons per quarter. Now, these rates are good now. When we go through the budget process, like we've done the last 2 years, we reassess what the budget forecast is in terms of revenue, and we'll update these as required in order to make sure the expenses are offset by the revenues. All right, so these are good for now, but we may be updating them in a couple of months when we go through the budget process.
You get a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a question. On the water and sewer rates for the town residents,
Yes,
did you change anything there? I thought I know that the town pays more than the village.
yeah, for
I
water.
thought it was on both, a little bit of sewer and a little bit of water.
No, the rate, these are the rates for right now,
All right.
right?
I always thought it was a little bit, I got to check on my.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah. I do have a problem with the 60.
You got it all on the water, not on the sewer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, as far as water and sewer connections, the application fees, these are the same as before. Water, $500 plus a $500 bond, sewer, $500 and $500. An escrow of $5,000, which is returned if it's not used. Connection fees for non-village that are not pre-approved applicants. That's this, using the Bill Bright criteria here, $6,270 for water, $6,270 for sewer hookup, assuming 3-bedroom house, and assuming these are not pre-approved. And of course, the fees are subject to adjustment based on the size of the project. All right. Filming fees, we'll do that based on the scope of the project. We had HBO was here last year doing the Plumbers, which is going to be on HBO, by the way, in
Soon,
March.
yeah.
And we just kind of figured out on the fly.
Yeah,
And then
sometimes they
and
need
then
to
double the number.
leave, sometimes it's just
Yeah,
like
right.
a little filming in the village, so yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to determine it in a fixed
It
fee,
is,
thing,
it is,
so
yeah.
we'll wing it. Violation fees, if the Public Works Department has to go and make extra pickups, brush that's left over after the brush pickup is finished, leaves that are extraneous, whatever, then Bob determines what's the additional fee, notifies the resident, and then goes and picks up and disposes of the trash, whatever it is. So those fees are determined by the Public Works Supervisor. All right? So I'll make a motion by Mayor Colliffy to acknowledge the above mentioned fees, seconded by
Second.
Trustee Doro. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Fiscal year, we want to close it ASAP, so I request all invoices be honored and paid by July of 2023 for the close of fiscal year 22-23, and that allows us to get the annual update document running and submitted to the state ASAP. All right. The last page is a list of the 20 village employees. The salaries of each are listed in the budget. We don't know the details of what each are being paid, but you can see there the trustees, clerk, deputy clerk, senior account clerk, the highway department, those 3 folks are there, Jeff, Bob, and Darren. The police, 2, 4, 5 part-timers, and Jared is full-time. All right. Richard B. Lyman, that's the new guy. Brooks is his name. And as I said, with TBD, we're trying to hire someone to take over Regina Crawford's job as the secretary of the planning board at CBA. There's Ken McLaughlin, and Matt Hertz plows the sidewalks for us, and he's an paid hourly by the village, in addition to his job as the head honcho for the tribute garden. Any questions about any of that?
Is Nicole's legal name Bertha?
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
Okay, because her little,
Her married name is Zico, but she didn't officially change it, so.
okay.
Yeah.
I've always gotten by
Yeah,
her desk, but,
Yeah.
okay.
I could see how that's confusing.
All right, we're meeting next Wednesday. Will be our first monthly business meeting, 6 o'clock here. All right, and I'll make a motion that we adjourn at whatever the time is now.
6:24.
6:24. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much. So therefore, we're going to dissolve the allowance of petty cash. So I'll read this. It's now determined that the need for petty cash fund no longer exists. Now therefore it be resolved the following. The total amount of petty cash account is $668, which is not true. What's the story with that?
I just used the amount that the AUD stated.
Mhm.
It's really like $100, but I think one of our former people that did the AUDs, I think he used it as like a place to like put money he didn't know where to put. So I figured to keep it clean, I would just say whatever the AUD said.
Okay, fine. So the AUD for last year said $668 is there.
Correct.
Now it's not, and you're going to take care of moving all the money that's there out.
Correct.
Okay, good. So the Board of Trustees authorizes discontinuing the use of petty cash and an appropriate journal entry of a credit to A210 and a debit to A200 cash be made. Obviously, A200 is the petty cash, so that's good. All right, I'll make a motion. We do that. Can I get a second?
Second.
Go through a roll call.
Mayor Calvi,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Contino,
Aye.
Trustee Herzog,
Aye.
Trustee Doro,
Aye.
Trustee Murphy.
Okay, good. I'm going to make a motion that we close the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, everybody.